you believe how much this went for? £530,000.
Good afternoon, Jonathan. Yes, it's a staggering amount of money, isn't it? It's one of only 7 life jackets that are known to have survived, and this is the only one from a surviving passenger ever to be sold.
Quite incredible. You're standing in front of it. Who bought it?
Yeah. I don't know, actually. It was a phone bidder. I was on another line speaking to another prospective purchaser who pulled out. But I don't even know whether it's staying in the UK or whether it's going overseas at this stage.
Yeah, and I suppose we don't know whether it's gone to a private collector, do we, or whether it might go into a museum. I mean, there is a chance it could be hidden away from public view, which seems a bit of a shame.
It is, but what tends to happen with artifacts of this value and rarity, we're very lucky in the Titanic community that if a private collector buys them, very often they will be loaned to museums. But as I say, I don't know whether it's going to a museum or a private collection at this stage.
And while you're standing in front of it, just tell us a bit more about it. Tell us about the history of the life jacket and a bit more about who wore it.
Yes, it was worn by a first-class passenger, Laura Francatelli, who was the personal secretary for Lady Lucille Duff-Gordon, a prominent courtier at the time. She was travelling to New York from Paris with her husband, Sir Cosmo Duff-Gordon, and they were saved from the ship in lifeboat number 1.
Yeah, lifeboat number 1 was quite controversial, wasn't it? Because only 12 people, I believe, were on that boat when it went away from the Titanic, but it could have taken 40.
That's right. The controversy also expanded after the disaster. 2 of the crewmen who were carpenters on board had lost all their tools, and they passed comment whilst in the lifeboat after the ship had sank. And Sir Cosmo, when they got onto the Carpathia, the rescue ship, he kindly gave them a £5 note each to buy new tools. And of course, that was then transposed into he had bribed the crew not to row back, which was clearly not true.
No, of course. And there have been other items for sale, haven't there, from the Titanic? Tell me about that.
Yes, you'll see a little bit lower if I step out of the way. This was a fender from one of the lifeboats, the only one known to have survived, along with a lifeboat plaque which is attached to it, and you can see it being lifted onto the Carpathia in this photograph.
And have they gone for a lot of money as well, David?
Yes, that went for, forgive me if I don't get this right, but it was somewhere in the region of £260,000.
It's quite incredible, the amounts of money we're talking. Why do you think people are prepared to spend so much money on Titanic items? Well,
Titanic is a never-ending story. It's part of the national curriculum, the history curriculum. Every school student still learns about the subject. So there's always a new generation of Titanic enthusiasts coming through. And as you say, these artifacts of this rarity make huge amounts of money.
And you're chairman of the British Titanic Society. What was it that sparked your interest in the liner?
I was about 7 or 8 years old, and my father bought me a model, which we sat and built together. And then I started to read books, and I started collecting about 30 years ago. And I'm very privileged now. I'm actually a partner in a Titanic exhibition company, so we stage exhibitions all over the world.
Yeah, and it does still fascinate, doesn't it? All these years later, 114 years on. Do you think that there are other items out there which may also come up for auction in coming years?
There are 2 auctions every year here in Henry Aldridge and Son in Devizes and Wiltshire, 2 specialist Titanic and maritime auctions, and we never know what's going to come out of the woodwork.
No, we really don't. And I suppose that we should also remember the victims, shouldn't we? I mean, there's something almost, I don't know, rather sad about all of this, isn't there? This sort of transactional nature, given what a desperately sad event it was.
Indeed. Only last weekend, the British Titanic Society held their annual convention in Cove in Southern Ireland, which used to be called Queenstown, which was Titanic's last port of call. And we had over 100 delegates come from all over the world to commemorate the loss of the ship. So it's still a very emotive subject as well.
Yeah, that sounds like a lovely event. It's been fantastic having you on, and quite incredible that such huge sums of money have been spent. David Scott-Beddard, Chair of the British Titanic Society, thank you very much.